Your UGC ads are getting skipped every time. After working with several nine-figures brands, I've figured out the exact structure that separate the loser from the winner. At the end of this video, you'll know the exact techniques that make your UGC impossible to skip. And I'm going to show you how to use them even if you've never made a video that went viral before. So here's what nobody tells you about UGC videos. The problem isn't that your product is boring, or the problem is not that you're not attractive enough or not charismatic enough. The problem is that you're making videos that sound like videos. Think about it. When scrolling through TikTok or Instagram, what makes you stop? It's never the perfectly polished, obviously sponsored content. It's the stuff that feels real. It's the stuff that feels like your friend just discovered something and had to tell you about it. That's the energy you need to capture. Not brand ambassador reading a script, but excited human sharing something cool. And I can prove this works. I've tested the same product, same offer, same everything. One video sounds natural and conversational. The other sounds scripted and polished. The natural one gets 3 times more the watch time. Every single time. Let me be blunt with you. You have 3 seconds. That's it. Not 5 seconds. Not once you get into it. 3 seconds to make someone stop the scrolling. And in those 3 seconds, you need to do 2 things simultaneously. Grab the attention with your words and grab the attention with your visuals. Most creators focus on one or the other. That's the mistake. You could have the most shocking hook in the world, but if you're just sitting there with a boring background and bad lighting, people will scroll. You could have the most visually interesting shot, but if your opening line is, "Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about," people will scroll. You need both, always. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're promoting a productivity app. Here's what doesn't work. Sitting at a desk, looking at a camera. "Hey everyone, I want to show you this amazing productivity app I've been using." Skip, next, boring. Here's what works. Phone screen recording, showing a chaotic calendar with dozens of overlapping events. Your voice panic. "I had 15 things to do yesterday. I forgot about all of them." That makes people stop because visually it's interesting. Your calendar is chaos. People relate to that. And your hook creates curiosity. What happened? How did he fix it? See the difference? You're not announcing what the video is about. You're dropping people into the middle of the problem they relate to. Pattern interrupts are your best friend. You know what makes people scroll? Predictability. If your video looks and sounds like every other video, the brain goes, "Oh, I've seen that before," and scrolls. You need to interrupt that pattern. There's a reason those sunscreen on toast videos work so well. Nobody expects to see someone toasting bread in a skincare ad. It's weird. It's different. It makes you stop and think, wait, what is happening here? That's pattern interrupt. But here's the key. Your pattern interrupt needs to be relevant to your product. You can't just do something random for the sake of being random. I've seen creators do these elaborate attention-grabbing intros that have nothing to do with what they're selling. Yeah, people watch for a few seconds, but then they leave because they feel tricked. The watch time is terrible, the engagement is terrible, and the ad doesn't convert. Your pattern interrupt should make sense once people understand what you're promoting. If you're selling a workout equipment, maybe you're using it in a weird location, like doing squats in a grocery store aisle. That's unexpected, but it's relevant. If you're selling a recipe app, maybe you're cooking something that looks disgusting but tastes amazing. That's visually interesting and relevant. If you're selling skincare, maybe you're applying it in the back of an Uber. That's different and makes sense in the context. Think, what's the most interesting, unexpected way you can present this product while still staying true to what it does? The first 15 seconds need 3 hooks. Okay, so you got them to stop in the first 3 seconds. Congratulations! Now you have another problem. They're still deciding whether to keep watching. This is where most creators fail. They think, cool, I hooked them, now I'll just explain everything. Wrong. You need to hook them again and again. I think of the first 15 seconds as having 3 distinct hooks. Hook 1, seconds 0 to 3, the attention grab. This is pure pattern interrupt, something visually or verbally shocking that makes them stop scrolling. Hook 2, seconds 3 to 8, the relatability hook. This is where you tap into a problem or a feeling they recognize. You're building connection. Hook 3, seconds 8 to 15, the curiosity hook. This is where you hint at a solution, but you don't give it yet. You're making them need to keep watching. Let's use that productivity app example example again and break down all 3 hooks. Hook 1, phone screen showing chaotic calendar. I had 15 things to do yesterday and I forgot all about them. Hook 2, cut to you looking stressed. You know that feeling when you're so overwhelmed you just freeze? Like your brain just stopped working? That was me last week. Hook 3, but then I found this one app that completely changed how I managed everything, and I'm not even exaggerating. I went from missing deadlines to being the person who finishes things early. Now, they have to keep watching because you've created a story. You've opened a loop. What's the app? How does it work? Can it help me too? That's how you make videos impossible to skip. You layer hooks on top of hooks on top of hooks. Curiosity gaps are your secret weapon. One of the most powerful techniques in script writing is the curiosity gap. This is when you hint at information without fully revealing it. The human brain hates incomplete information. When you open a loop without closing it, people feel compelled to keep watching until you close it. Here are some examples of curiosity gaps. I used to spend 3 hours a day on my skincare routine. Now I spend 5 minutes and my skin looks better. Here's what changed. This $12 product works better than the $200 one I was using before. Let me show you why. I accidentally discovered the easiest way to make professional looking videos. It's so simple. I can't believe people aren't doing this. Everyone thinks you need expensive equipment for this. Turns out it's just need this one thing. In each of those examples, you're giving them enough information to make them curious, but not enough to satisfy the curiosity. They have to keep watching to get the answer. This is different from clickbait, by the way. Clickbait is when you promise something and you don't deliver. Curiosity gap is when you promise something and then deliver it. You just make them wait a bit. Use curiosity gaps throughout your entire video, not just at the beginning. Every 10 to 15 seconds, open a new small loop that gets closed later. This feature is cool, but wait until you see what happens when you combine it with this other thing I'll show you in a second. Now they're sticking around for that second thing. Angles matter more than you think. Here's something that will save you hours of frustration. Figure out the angle before you start filming anything. What do I mean by angle? It's the specific lens through which you're presenting the product. It's the story you're telling. The same product can be presented in dozens of different ways, and each angle will attract a different audience and create a different type of video. Let's say you're promoting a meal planning app. Here are 5 different angles that you can use. Angle 1, busy mom who's tired of the question, what's for dinner every single night. Angle 2, fitness person who wants to hit their macros without spending hours tracking everything. Angle 3, budget conscious person who's tired of wasting money on food that just goes bad. Angle 4, person who's bad at cooking and needs simple recipes with ingredients they actually have. Angle 5, couple where one person does all of the cooking and is burned out and needs help. Same product, 5 completely different videos, different hooks, different problems, different emotional resonance. Before you write a single word or film a single second, ask yourself, what is my angle? Who specifically I'm talking to? What's the problem they are dealing with right now? Once you have that clarity, everything else becomes easier because you're not trying to appeal to everyone. You're speaking directly to one specific person with one specific problem. And ironically, when you get that specific, your video actually resonates with more people. Specificity feels like you understand them. Be specific. Generic appeals to everyone and feels fake. Specific appeals to one person and feels authentic. By the way, if you want my complete breakdown of the exact frameworks that are working right now for making it impossible to skip UGC videos, including hook formulas, angle templates, and even filming tips, I put together a free guide. I'll drop the link right below this video. It's got everything I've learned from analyzing over 500 ads. Definitely grab it if you're serious about making videos people actually watch. The problem section is where most videos die. Okay, so you've hooked them 3 times in the first 15 seconds. Now you need to talk about the problem your product solves. This is where most videos completely fall apart because creators make one of 2 mistakes. Mistake 1, they spend way too long on the problem. problem. They think they need to really drive home how bad the problem is. So they go on and on about it, and the viewer gets bored and leaves. Mistake 2, they focus on the wrong problem. They talk about a problem that the viewer doesn't actually have, or they talk about a surface level problem instead of the real deep problem. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say you're selling a long-lasting lip liner. The surface level problem is lip liner doesn't last all day. Okay, sure, but that's not the real problem. The real problem might be I'm so anxious about my appearance in meeting that I'm constantly checking my phone screen to see if my makeup is still okay, and it's distracting me from actually doing my job well. Or I go on dates and I'm so worried about my lip liner smudging that I avoid eating or drinking anything, and then I can't enjoy myself. Or I've spent hundreds of dollars trying to find a lip liner that works for my skin tone and actually lasts, and I'm tired of wasting money on products that don't deliver. Those are real problems. Those are the ones that make people go, oh my god, yes, that's exactly how I feel. So here's the rule. State the problem quickly, make it emotionally resonant, and move on. Here's an example of the bad version. Lip liners are annoying. They smudge when you eat, they fade when you drink, they never last as long as they say they will. I've tried so many different brands. Some are too dry, some are too creamy, some don't have the right colors. It's so frustrating trying to find one that works. Here's the good version. I've literally tried 25 different lip liners. Hold up a bunch of lip liners if you want to go extra. And I was so tired of checking my reflection every hour to make sure that I didn't look like a mess. But this one, I put it on 7 a.m. and it was still perfect at 11 p.m. That's 10 seconds. You stated a problem, made it relatable, and immediately introduced a solution. Now we need to talk about one of the most important concepts in all of marketing, the unique mechanism. This is the specific reason why your product solves the problem better than everything else out there. It's not enough to say, this lip liner lasts longer. Every lip liner claims that. You need to tell them why it lasts longer. What makes it different? Maybe it's a specific ingredient that binds to your skin differently. Maybe it uses a new type of formula that never been used before. Maybe it comes in 40 shades when competitor only have 10. Whatever it is, the unique mechanism needs to be the star of your video. Because here's the thing, your viewer has probably tried other solutions before. They've been disappointed, they're skeptical. You need to give them the reason to believe this time it will be different. The unique mechanism is that reason. Here's an example. Most lip liners use wax-based formulas that sit on top of your skin. That's why they smudge. This one uses something called micropigment technology that actually bonds with your skin at a molecular level. That's why it doesn't move. Now, I just made that up, but do you see how much more convincing that is than just saying it lasts longer? You're giving them a reason to believe. You're explaining the mechanism that makes it work differently. Find your product's unique mechanism and make it the centerpiece of your video. Specificity builds trust. Here's something that will instantly make your videos more believable. Be specific. Vague claims sound like lies. Specific claims sound like truth. Don't say, this product is amazing. Say, I've been using this every single day for 3 months and I noticed my skin texture improve within the first week. Don't say, it saves so much time. Say, I've used to spend 45 minutes on my morning routine and now it takes 12 minutes and it looks better. Don't say, lots of people love it. Say, it has over 50,000 5-star reviews and sells out every time they restock. The more specific you are, the more real it feels. And here's a pro tip. Use specific stories, not generic descriptions. This helps you stay organized. Bad take. This app helps you stay organized. Good take. Last Tuesday, I had back-to-back meetings all day. And normally, I would have forgotten about at least 3 things I needed to do. But because this app sent me notifications at exactly the right times, I actually remembered everything. First time that's happened in months. This story is specific. It feels real. It makes the benefit tangible and relatable. Generic description makes people tune out. Specific stories make people lean in. Visual storytelling keeps people watching. Let's talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough. What's happening on screen matters just as much as what you're saying. I know, it sounds obvious. You can have a perfect script, but if your visuals are boring, people will leave. Think about the most engaging UGC videos you've seen. They are usually showing you things, not just telling you things. If you're talking about how easy a product it is to use, show yourself using it. Don't just hold it up and talk about it. If you're talking about before and after results, show actual before and after. If you need to recreate it, show it. If you're talking about how much time something saves, show a quick time lapse or a montage. Your visuals should be reinforcing and enhancing what you're saying, and not just being a background for your talking head. Here's a framework I use. Every 5 to 8 seconds, something should change on screen. New angle, new shot, new visual element, something. That doesn't mean you need to constantly be jumping around. It just means you need enough visual variety to keep the brain engaged. Static shots make people scroll. Dynamic visuals keep people watching. And here's the thing about AI UGC, specifically, you have even more control over your visuals than traditional creators. Use that to your advantage. Create a compelling B-roll. Show the product in an interesting context. Use visual metaphors. Make your videos visually impossible to skip, not just verbally impossible to skip. Pacing is critical. One of the biggest differences between videos people skip and videos people watch is pacing. Pacing is the rhythm and speed of which information is delivered. Too slow, people get bored. Too fast, people get overwhelmed. You need to find the sweet spot. In general, UGC videos should move fast, especially in the first 30 seconds. Short sentences, quick cuts, and high energy. But you also need moments where you slow down slightly and let important information sink in. Think of it like music. You can't have the same tempo the entire time. You need variation. Fast parts, slow parts, builds, releases. Here's how I structure pacing. Seconds 0 to 15. Fast. High energy, quick cuts, lots happening. Seconds 15 to 30. Medium pace. You're explaining the solution now. Still moving, but not quite as frantic. Second 30 to 45. Can slow down slightly here. This is where you go deeper into benefits or demonstrate the product. Second 45 to 60, speed back up for the CTA. Create urgency. Make them want to act right now. That's the rhythm that keeps people engaged from start to finish. Handling objections makes videos unstoppable. Here's an advanced technique that most creators never use. Preemptive objection handling. This is when you address the concerns your viewers probably has before they consciously think about them. Let's say you're promoting a premium price product. You know people are thinking that's expensive. Don't ignore it. Address it head on. Yes, it's $80. I know that's not cheap. I hesitated too, but here's what changed my mind. I was spending $30 a month on 3 different products that didn't work as well. So actually, this saves me money. Now you've removed that objection before it could become a reason to click away. Other common objections you might need to address. Does this actually works or it's just hype? Address it. I was skeptical too, so I tested it for 30 days before I even considered recommending it. Is this just for a specific type of person? Address it. I thought this was only for people with oily skin. Isn't it complicated to use? Address it. It looks complicated, but it literally takes 30 seconds once you know what you're doing. By addressing objections directly in your video, you're removing barriers to conversion. You're answering the questions in their head before they become even reasons to leave. The CTA cannot be subtle. Here's something that shocks people when I tell them. You need a clear, direct call to action. I've run tests on this. Same video, same everything. One version has a clear CTA, one version doesn't. The version with the CTA gets 40% more clicks every single time. People need to be told what to do next. Even if it seems obvious to you, it's not obvious to them. So at the end of your video, just say it. Click the link below to get yours. That's it. Simple, direct, clear. You can add a little personality to it. Seriously, just click the link. Your future self will thank you. Or create urgency. They keep selling out, so if you see it in stock, grab it now. Or add a benefit. Click the link below and use the code SAVE20 for 20% off your first order. But the core message needs to be there. Here's what to do next. Don't make people guess. Don't assume they'll figure it out. Tell them exactly what action to take. And here's a bonus tip. Tell them what to expect after they click. Click the link below and you'll see all the color options. Or click the link below and you can start your free trial today. When people know what happens next, they're more likely to take action. Quality matters more than ever. Let me be real with you about something. The quality of your final video matters just as much as your script. You can have the most brilliant script in the world, but if your audio is bad, your lighting is terrible, and your editing is sloppy, people will skip it. Because when people see low quality, they assume low quality product. That's just how the brain works. With AI UGC tools now, there's no excuse for bad production. You can create professional looking content in minutes, but you have to actually care about quality. Here's what quality means in practice. Lighting, your subject should be well lit. No harsh shadows, no weird colors. If you're using AI actors, make sure the lighting in your generated footage looks natural. Audio needs to be crystal clear. No background noise, no echo. If you're using AI voices, use high quality models that sound human, and make sure that when the character is in a certain settings, you also match the background sounds to the settings. Editing, smooth transitions, good pacing, no jarring cuts. The whole thing should flow naturally. Framing, proper composition, subject in the right place, close enough to see details, far enough not to be uncomfortable. Color, everything should look cohesive and natural. No weird color grades that make it look artificial. If it's AI UGC, make sure the skin texture look natural. These details matters. They're the difference between a video that feels professional and trustworthy versus the one that feels cheap and sketchy. I've seen the same script perform 3 times better just by improving the production quality. The words didn't change, the lighting, the audio, and the editing changed. And that's it. Don't skip this step. Speed wins in this space. Let me tell you something about the UGC space that most people don't want to hear. Speed matters more than perfection. Trends move fast. What works today might not work next week. If you see something going viral, you need to move on it immediately. When everyone started talking about that Sora timestamp method, I tested it within 24 hours, realized it didn't work the way that people said it did, figured out a better approach, and published content about it within 48 hours. That speed gave me a massive advantage because people were searching for answers and I had them ready. If I'd spent a week making sure everything was perfect, the moment would have passed. Someone else would have beaten me to it. So here's my advice. Done is better than perfect. Ship it. Set a time limit for yourself and give yourself 30 minutes to write a script. 15 minutes to polish it. That's it. Then film it. Don't overthink it. Your first version won't be perfect. That's okay. Ship it. See how it performs. Learn from the data and then make the next one better. The people who win in this space are the ones that move fast and iterate quickly, not the ones who spend weeks trying to create a perfect video. Build momentum. Ship constantly. Get better over time. Study what works and adapt it. Here's a strategy that professionals use, but beginners usually ignore. Study winning ads and adapt their frameworks. Go to Facebook ad library right now. Search for brands in your niche. Look at what ads they're running. If an ad has been running for 30 plus days, it's working. That's your signal. It's making money. Now, I'm not telling you to copy it word for word. That's lazy and it doesn't work. But analyze it. What's their hook? How do they structure their problem and solution? What's their pacing like? How they handle the CTA? Then take those structural elements and adapt them for your product. If you see a successful app that opens with, "I've been seeing this app everywhere and finally tried it," you can use the same structure. "I've been seeing this product everywhere and finally tried it." The framework is proven. You're just customizing the execution. This is how every great creator works. They study what works and build on it. They don't reinvent the wheel every time. I have a swipe file of over 200 great ads. Anytime I see an ad that makes me stop and watch, I save it. Then, when I need inspiration, I review my swipe file. Build your own. It's the most valuable resources you can have. You need to think mobile first. Over 90% of people will watch your videos on their phone. That changes everything. It means vertical video is better than horizontal. It means text needs to be big and readable on a very small screen. It means close-up shots work better than wide shots. Write and film your videos with mobile viewing in mind. If you're saying something important, put it on screen as text too, because some people watch without sound. If you're showing the product, get close, fill the frame, make it easy to see on a small screen. If you're using graphics or visuals, make sure they're not too detailed. Simple, bold visuals work better on mobile. Mobile viewers have shorter attention span and less patience. Make it easy for them. Make it obvious. Make it impossible to misunderstand. Let me tell you about a secret ingredient that separates good videos from unstoppable videos. Facts tell. Emotions sell. People won't remember your features and benefits, but they remember how you made them feel. So how do you add emotion to your videos? Use emotional language. Instead of "this works well," say "I was so relieved when this finally worked." Show vulnerability. insecurity. I was embarrassed about my skin for years. This is the first time I've felt confident going makeup-free. Be genuinely enthusiastic. Your energy is contagious. If you're excited, they'll get excited. Tell stories that tap into universal emotions. Fear of missing out, desire to belong, fear of embarrassment. The more your viewer feels, the less likely they are to skip, because emotions override logic. When someone is feeling something, they're engaged. So that's the framework. These are the exact techniques I use to make videos that people can't skip. Now, if you want to see this in action and you want access to my complete library of templates, hooks, formulas, and real examples of videos I've broken down frame by frame, I put together a free resource. It's everything I wish someone had given me when I started. The link is right below this video. Start making impossible to skip videos today, and I'll see you in the next one.